We're about to kick off a 800-acre industrial park that would include roads, infrastructure development, and then vertical construction, most of which will be big box distribution, predominantly speculative, if you can believe that, but capturing the onshoring or nearshoring that's going on in the country of Mexico.
Yeah, that market is boomed. How much square footage have you guys delivered there? And is it all spec or is some of it build-to-suit?
So the market is 40 million square feet. They're growing the industrial market 20% a year.
My God.
That's the whole market. That's not Arco. Right. We have been identified by a wealthy oil and gas family to develop their industrial portion of a town they're building called Tullis, Texas.
Welcome to our Industrial Advisors podcast. We're live at IAMC in Quebec City, which is a beautiful place.
Wow, is it?
Yeah, it's
incredible.
Yeah, it's great. We have Bill Condon and Matt McGregor. We have a great guest today. We have John Komlos, who's a principal at Arco. Why don't we start with just a quick background of Arco and what you guys do and kind of your role within the organization.
Well, thanks, Bill. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you both. Arco Construction is a large general contractor, primarily design builder. So we have 40 to 45 offices throughout the United States, and mainly focusing on industrial real estate and industrial construction. Developers are our clients as well as end users. So our whole modus of operandi is to get into projects early, determine costs and timing and designs, and then deliver finished products. So of those 40 to 45 offices spread throughout the United States, a typical office has some business developers as well as some project managers. And we're constantly sourcing opportunities for a specific region or niche. Our niches include predominantly industrial. We do a little bit of office building construction, also multifamily construction, and some specialty constructions like, for example, the Topgolfs. We've built 70 Topgolfs throughout the United States. So we are the go-to builder for Topgolf. I won't say that we've done every one, but we've done the lion's share of that.
That's cool.
They're fun.
Tell us real quickly, where's home? What's home life look like?
Absolutely. I've been, St. Louis, Missouri is where Arco started in 1992. I was not a founder of the business, but I was the first employee of the business.
Wow.
Jeff Cook and Dick Early started the business in 92. I had worked with them at the predecessor company, which was a company called R.W. Murray Company. So as employee number one. St. Louis is where I've ultimately focused all my efforts and have grown that business in the St. Louis market to lead to other markets.
Okay.
I have a wife and two children. My two children are grown. My daughter recently got married a year ago. You asked about home life, so that's why I went there.
Yes.
My daughter recently got married. No grandkids yet.
Okay.
And then my son is a medical school student now. But both my children are engineers. My wife's an engineer. I'm an engineer, so we're kind of an engineering family.
Incredible.
Cool.
Where'd you go to college?
A little school in central Missouri called Missouri S&T. It's Missouri University of Science and Technology. We recruit heavily at that university. It's 6,000 engineering students. So a big part of our project management staff in the St. Louis market, and some of our other offices as well, have been alums of Missouri S&T.
Wow.
That's great.
So it's been interesting, the construction world, the industrial market for so long was just absolutely on fire, right? So you guys were probably go. Vacancy has ticked up in a lot of the major markets. Have you seen some of your clients hit the pause button at all, or are they still full go on industrial?
Absolutely. We've had clients hit the pause button. E-commerce and COVID took off industrial. Industrial's just sailing along for quite a while. Then the interest rate ticks have caused clients to pause. So we've been blessed where I have a couple kind of projects that I've been working on personally that have kind of not allowed us to hit pause. I mentioned a significant presence in Laredo, Texas. Mm-hmm. We're about to kick off a 800-acre industrial park that would include roads, infrastructure development, and then vertical construction, most of which will be big box distribution, predominantly speculative, if you can believe that, but capturing the onshoring or nearshoring that's going on in the country of Mexico.
Yeah, that market is boomed. How much square footage have you guys delivered there? And is it all spec or is some of it build-to-suit?
So the market is 40 million square feet. They're growing the industrial market 20% a year.
My God.
That's the whole market. That's not Arco.
Right.
We have been identified by a wealthy oil and gas family to develop their industrial portion of a town they're building called Tullis, Texas. So it's all in the planning stage. We'll break ground on our first building spring of next year of 2025 and deliver summer of 26. But it will be speculative. Laredo is the prototypical, if you build it, we will come. And the market has demonstrated that. So you almost have to come out of the ground with a product, and then it will be leased off the plan, essentially either off the plans or as it's being constructed.
And how close, you called it Tullis, Texas?
That's right.
How close is Tullis to Laredo?
Well, Laredo is right on the border,
Yeah.
so it's 25 miles north of the border.
Okay.
So it's roughly 25 miles from downtown Laredo.
And we were talking about Tullis before we started hitting record here. Tell us about what Tullis. So they're literally building a new city.
Yeah, the Walker family settled in Laredo, Webb County is the county, Webb County, in 1910. They were cattlemen. They migrated from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, simply cattle. Then somewhere, I think probably in the mid-30s, they discovered oil and gas on their property.
Good find.
So they're great find.
Yeah.
So they've been a natural gas producer for a long time. So the third generation, which is the current generation, decided to invest in creating this town called Tullis, which is an Indian word for good water. Water is a paramount in South Texas.
For sure.
So they've been able to drill some 5,000 deep wells into an aquifer that is good water. There's 14 different wellheads. So they've been able to produce this phenomenal water that allowed them to build a town. So of the 8,000 of their, I don't think they have 100,000 acres, but they probably have 50,000 acres. They've carved out 8,000 acres for the town of Tullis, Texas. Within that 8,000 acres, there's 800 acres that they have commissioned us to manage and design and build industrial warehousing.
Spec. Yes.
We have rail access. It's all right on I-35. So it's got all the good vibes about it. There's 30,000 trucks a day that come up I-35. We think that's going to go to 50,000 a day. So the growth is just unlimited.
So when is the first building going to be standing, and what is the phased rollout in square footage?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Good question. So we're going to build 2 spec, and we're going to break ground spring of this year, of 25. We'll deliver spring of 26.
Okay.
And one will be about a 500,000 square foot cross dock spec. So the 4 corners, if you will. And then the other will probably be a 300,000 footer, single loaded, 250 deep by 1,200 feet long, single loaded. But trailer storage is a premium down there, so we'll have a significant amount of trailer storage as well.
That's great. Already interest in the buildings, probably?
Oh, yeah. We haven't even rolled it out yet, but there's been talk about different users that have interest in that location. Absolutely.
That's fascinating. So you said, how many offices do you have in the U.S.?
Well, there's 40 established offices. I know that Laredo is an office that is probably going to be established. So in order we identify a location, it takes 3 years to establish it.
Okay.
So we have like 40 established, and there's probably 4 or 5 that are identified to be established.
And then out of those offices, what would you say your mix on the industrial side of speculative construction versus build-to-suit?
You know, I don't have exact facts and figures because we don't track all 40 offices and all their deals. But my gut tells me that 20% is speculative, 80% is for end users or build-to-suits.
Okay.
For sure.
A lot of build-to-suit.
Yeah.
Sure.
So what are you guys seeing? You've been in the business a long time, and obviously there's been some innovations in every kind of sector of the business world. What are you guys seeing on the construction side that is innovative and cool and helping you guys be more efficient?
We're not necessarily a pioneer company. We come in right behind the pioneers, if you will.
Sure.
Because the pioneers get the arrows in the back. So Procore is Procore is a construction software. It's a national brand. We subscribe to that, and we're not the only company that does that. But that has revolutionized our reporting, our documentation, our safety. You know, the speed of getting information to the right people is unbelievable. And Procore has played a big part of that. I mean, I started in the industry where the little individual PC rolled out. then the fax machine, then the cell phone. So I've seen this evolve,
Sure.
So Procore probably is the biggest thing right now that's going on with us.
Yeah.
And then there's also AI and robotics. AI is unbelievable. Like, how you can not visit a job site and price a project by using Google Earth and some of the other assets that you have at your disposal.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a hard and fast rule. We won't sell a deal until we've actually visited the site.
Sure.
Well, we get a lot of calls. We got to turn something around in 24 hours. Well, we don't have the time to, get in the weeds and vet it all out. So we'll kind of use what assets and technology we have available to get those numbers, to get that information out the door.
Yeah. Technology is amazing. It's funny because when Matt and I started in the industry, the commercial real estate industry in 2003, 2004, we would go down and cold call, and Blackberries had just come out, right?
Oh,
so
yeah,
like,
the world. Remember that with the little...
so I didn't have one for like a year.
Yes.
So I'd go down, knock on doors, and then come back. And then I got this Blackberry, and I'm like, this is amazing. You can reply to emails outside of the office. You don't have to be in the office to
That was a
reply to
big
emails.
upgrade.
But it messed me up because I had the two thumbs with the full keyboard. And then you go to the touchscreen. I was like, that was like blew me away. That was
That's
hard to
right.
get used to.
I miss the Blackberry.
I do too. I like
miss
the
it.
two-thumb keyboard for
Just
sure.
bring back the Blackberry.
Bring back the BlackBerry.
There you go. Absolutely.
Okay, so on technology, I'm curious on the construction side of the tilt big
Right.
box. And I assume most of what you do is tilt, maybe not prefab.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, what are the changes, if any, recently in the box? And I'm talking just spec big box. Is there any changes in design that's new tech?
Well, we're building buildings taller than ever now.
Yeah.
How
and
tall?
we're limited by water and sprinkler and ESFR systems. That's
Yes.
your limitation.
Yes.
But, you do some rack-supported buildings now where you'll clad with some sort of IMP, but that's not tilt. But nonetheless, specific to tilt, I think roof systems have gotten a lot better. Floors have gotten a lot faster. And steel has gotten lighter, because you're able to use technology to understand where your point loads are and where you need to beef up your steel.
Yes.
Some of the bad storms we get through the Midwest, though, have caused us to worry more about storm shelters and the impacts of F4 and F5 tornadoes. Sprinkler systems have gotten a lot more sophisticated, a lot better. So, the timelines have gotten a lot shorter. We build them so much quicker now.
Yes.
You can lay out where your tilt panels need to be a lot more efficiently when you cast them on your slab. You can use better concrete. They can hydrate faster, where you can get them in the air sooner. Delivery times and steel screwed us up in, during the COVID years. So we'd almost work backwards from when we would get steel to when we would start projects. That has subsided by and large. Switchgear and things with chips in them. Cheap chips have still become a supply chain issue for us, but we're still building better, faster, bigger, taller, and that's kind of how the world's changed for me.
And what's one of the most fascinating build-to-suits you've been a part of?
Well, I mean, I have some fascinating projects going on right now. These are a little less industrial, but more exciting to me necessarily.
Sure.
We built the training facility for the St. Louis Blues, three-sheet facility. So I'm a big hockey guy. We use tilt. We built a venue behind it, which was a outdoor ice rink that Live Nation came to the Blues in the city of Maryland Heights and said we want to make that a music park, which they did. Now I'm building a music park, $100 million music park in Kansas City, Missouri.
Wow.
And it is going to be the best of the best. We have 2.5 acres of roof on 6 columns in a floodplain. And that project's going to open spring of 26, and that will be in time for the World Cup in Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
So it'll be the talk of the town, spring of 26. But if you're talking industrial, we built a pretty exciting distribution center for Whirlpool Corporation in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay.
800,000 feet. We had a blue line stream. We had 13,000 volt power lines going through that we had to relocate. We had to mitigate a blue line stream. And then we built it on adjacent ground to their factory where they make 10,000 ovens and ranges a day.
Wow.
In or distribute or make. We had to build a connector from factory to distribution. So it was a complex.
Elevated or ground?
Elevated.
Elevated. Wow.
Truck traffic, inbound freight comes in. So we had to go over basically the docks and the drop lot into the building. And the new building was 30 feet lower than the factory. So it went up, over, and down.
Oh, my.
And not a straight line. It had a serpentine too. It's kind of that old factory where the I Love Lucy show where they're making pies and it's coming down the
Bill's
conveyor.
too young for this. He doesn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
Where
I'm fascinated about this building.
the ovens keep coming, and somebody's got to be on the lower end, making sure they get them and put them in the rack.
That's
you
right.
know?
That's right.
So you've worked on a lot of projects. If I had to ask you, and this is all product types, your favorite project that you've ever worked on?
Well, it's funny. I'm in the twilight of my career, and I was going to try and wind out because we did sell to our employees. So now we're in ESOP. I work for my employees, so I'm no longer a principal, but I'm on the governing board for the company, and I'm a selling shareholder. So I'm still very passionate about the business. The employees still owe me some money, so I got to make sure I stay involved to a certain degree. And it was our succession, okay? So the reason why I say that is I have 3 projects right now that are like the marquee projects of my career, believe it or not.
Cool.
Where I was intending to slow down, but I'm more motivated and more passionate now than I've ever been. And those are the music venue I was telling you about, the 1,000 acres or 800 acres in Laredo. And then we just landed a build-a-suit for Whirlpool Corporation, the St. Louis market, a 600,000 footer on some land that I own. I dabble a little bit in real estate ownership too.
Sure.
So I'm really spending as much or more time in investing in projects as I am in building projects. Now, I don't want my clients to think that we're going to be a competitor.
Sure.
These are one-off deals where owners have asked me to help them or be their partner and stuff. So I'm not a developer. I'm not a real estate owner, but I do invest in projects.
Yeah, like we all do.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys do the same thing, I'm sure.
For sure.
I mean, absolutely.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, we want to say thank you for being on the show, John. This was fascinating.
I loved
Great
it.
to get to know you. Great to get to know your company. We really appreciate it.
You fellas made it easy for me. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for sharing your
Quebec.
insights. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, fellas.
Good job.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.